like from basketball jerseys to baseball jerseys and MLB gear and such, and like lettermans too. So are you like a big like NBA Raptors fan in a sense? And how did you feel about the Raptors like winning the championship like last year?
Yo, that was lit. Like me and Kels were talking about that last night. It was just like, man, we both cried. We were both just like, we were at the Drake Underground, funny enough. He had a show, I think he was doing The Hustle with our boy Dramago, and it was like we had them stream the game at the spot because we're like, or else, you know. So, but we literally, the show stopped. Everyone ran out into the streets on Queen Street. It was crazy. It was like, man, but a lot of us cried that night because it was just like 24 years, 25 years of us just like taking so many L's, and it was like, you know, we did it, like, you know, that was lit. And I had my Mitchell and Ness Raptors jacket on that night because I was like, I gotta be ready, you know what I'm saying? So the throwback gear for sure, like jerseys, obviously I have a Blue Jays jersey on right now, but the throwback jerseys, just because I always played ball my whole life, so, you know, I was always in ball gear, period. If I wasn't at the studio, I was playing ball, so Jays, all of that, so it's like, that is just something natural to me that it was always part of me. So to kind of keep that theme, you know, throughout music, cover art, videos, it was a natural, you know, kind of combination. So yeah, and I mean, regardless what happens, we got our chip. Period. Anyone can say what they want, but we got our chip.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It went from winning the championship like 2 years ago to Braun having a super team like just with this year, or like the last basketball season, and now to having just kind of like having your starting three like Raptors players, because I think everyone got traded like to different teams. I heard Gasol was supposed to be waived to Barcelona, but I don't know if he's still doing that or if he's gonna continue on with the Lakers contract. So how do you like feel about that right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it was sad to, you know, that we couldn't defend that championship with the same team. Like, I know a lot of people were disappointed, like, that we didn't at least try and defend it once after that, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know if that's ever happened in NBA history, to be honest, that, you know, we all know Kawhi left, and, you know, but I know we were all trying to just put that out of our minds when we won, and the streets were rammed. We were at Dundas Square, like, just like for the parade. It was crazy, and it was like, it was surreal that it was, we were living it instead of watching it every year, someone else's city, someone else's team, like, that we're all grown enough to enjoy it. Be out on the streets, you know what I'm saying?
True.
Be up in the bar celebrating pre-COVID, which is also a big plus that happened when it did. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, that was hard. It was really hard to have that and to not feel like we did our best to at least try and defend it once. But I mean, what can you do, right? It's like the Raptors' history of bad decisions when it comes to a lot of bad decisions as far as players or just not putting up the type of bread that we need to keep and have certain players is just a reality. So moving forward, you know, I hope that we can rebuild and one day get another chip. Yeah. But for now, I'm like, you know what? The fact that we were alive to see this, I'm just like, RIP to a lot of homies that weren't even here to see it. So, you know.
I know what you mean. So if you were to have like a top 5 all-time favorite like NBA team and players, how would your list be?
That's a hard question, but I feel like definitely MJ, David Robinson I was a big Spurs fan, still am, but growing up Spurs, especially even before we had a team. Duncan was always a big, a big favorite of mine. I really like Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway growing up. Man, it's so hard. Larry Johnson was someone I really liked growing up too. Grandmama, you know. It's so hard to pick 5. Yeah. It's so hard because I feel like certain players really have that connection to a time of your life, like a period of your life. So like there was a lot of players that you grew up with as a kid, but then they were gone maybe by the time you were an adult. So you kind of had to grow into other players, you know. Like for me as a kid, MJ hands down was just like, and I think for a lot of us from that era, you know, not only was it just about basketball, but it was also, he changed the game as far as what an athlete looked like, what an, you know, endorsements, all the things that were never done. You know, he really like blew those doors open. You know, that was also too, like that hope, a lot of us that didn't have anything was just like looking at MJ like, damn, you know, then we can all do it. You know, we ain't got shit, but hey, you know what? Like, what you mean. As long as one of us got it, some of us got it, you know, like,
no doubt. For me, I would have to say, in terms of players, I'd go with Jordan, just mainly for all the reasons that could be explained by either me and you. Kobe, just as far as him reinventing like the 3-point shoot and just having a legacy, just to be with like different types of people, to show that he's consistent, to show that he cares, to even like adapting to his style and understanding. Allen Iverson, like AI, like mainly in the sense of fashion and just determination and consistency. Like, you're not gonna have a player like AI, even for someone who didn't get like a ring and just have just being consistent. I don't know if he had a ring by any chance, but I think
I don't think so. Yeah. Keep it going.
Because he was like mad consistent for like many years too. Just even like to losing it to like Ben Wallace, like in that was kind of like crazy too in a way. Also like Will to Chamberlain too. Like Chamberlain, like I think he just defined the game in like his own aspect too, and just, you know, being like a working man, just being consistent like with his style too. Like you can never really define it. And I know like people are gonna be mad at this, but I would say Durant would also be in the top 5 too. I think just, you know, with his strength and consistency, and just like never failing to give up too, like in a way too, and to him like even receiving his chip back in like 2017, because I think 2018 actually, because 2017 he was in a different team. Like 2018 with the Warriors too, like he came a long way just from playing like back in like his old high school games to playing with the OKC Thunder till now. Like you have to give like Durant his like flowers too either way. I know people would say LeBron, but I feel like LeBron would have to prove himself more to be durable in all aspects too. Like especially if you would want to do something like maybe in Chicago, like bring a ring like to Chicago with like Derrick Rose as well. Like that could be a way.
Yeah, I mean it's hard because I mean Kobe for sure. There's definitely a lot of players that were influential, even Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, all those guys, like, you know, but definitely AI for sure. Like AI, I hear you, was one of those players that were super influential, like across the board, not just on the court, but, and also a small dude who had, like, you know what I mean? Like,
who had like heart in a way, you know?
Right? Yeah. Size-wise, for what he accomplished was madness. Like, and how hard he played in and out, like, was just astonishing. Like, yeah, he was, and even it was crazy that game, the playoff against Vince, the one that we lost to the Sixers. But, and Vince too, I mean, there's so many players over the years that really had an impact, but you're right, not all of them got their rings, not all of them, you know, got that, and I really wish AI had got one too. Yeah. I mean, the Celtics, KG and all of them got at least one with that Celtics team that year. Yeah. Spurs got a bunch. Like Kobe, like certain mans did get, but there's a lot of dudes that really played hard that unfortunately never did. But
I think with like Vince and like Pierce and Garnett, I'd put them like in a top 10. I don't think that they would be top 5 in a way, because if we look at it like legacy too, like I would say like even with those 3 too, with MJ, Kobe, and AI, they've done more for legacies than like what LeBron has done. Like even if he has the rings or not, if LeBron would actually bring a ring to Chicago, like that would be like probably like one of the best things that could be in like NBA history too, because even with MJ too, like he still thinks like LeBron has to prove more to prove that he is of a certain value, and I think having that chip in Chicago, like whether it would be next year or if he decides to trade from the Lakers, like that could be an astonishing thing, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I respect LeBron for sure. I mean, the fact that he brought a ring to Cleveland is a huge boost for the city. They definitely needed that. But LA, I mean, they've already won a bag, so it is what it is. But to me, I guess ball has changed a lot too. For me, like how ball used to be, and a lot more, I feel like, hands-on, maybe rough, maybe whatever. Like those times, ball was just different to me. Like compared to now, you know, it's still ball, but it's way more, you know, ticky-tack fouls and this and that. It's not like a ball fight like how it used to be back in the day, you know? So
I know what you mean. I think just to end off with the next question, I know that you've talked about your music and such on like what's going to be released soon, but do you have other plans for the end of the month and starting next year too? And do you have any like final words that you would like to say for any creative or any person out there pursuing their dreams?
yeah, so as far as music, me and Bombay are going to be dropping some singles, just loosies that we've been working on, a couple more collabs. I recently had a collab with my boy DJ Uwap in Cincinnati. Runaway was the track, but we're working on a couple more we're going to release in the next little while. So yeah, and then I have a couple other collaborations with Toronto artists, and Junia-T as well on some of his new stuff. So yeah, it's definitely moving from now to 2020 and 21, a lot of new music. We're working on some CGI visuals right now for Go-Go, which is probably going to be at the end of the month. Fucked Your Friend is the next single. First Time will be another single after that, and Albany, or I'll be on the Monstar tape. So yeah, I mean, and the collaborations too have been fun, like just outside of the singles and the rollout of the album. Just working with people from different countries and cities, and got some other collabs in Europe. So just kind of, you know, that cross-pollination is always good, and tapping into each other's fan bases, and just like that influence of how we just kind of, you know, working with different people kind of sparks different sides of your creativity too, sometimes even unconsciously knowing it. And I have also like an EP I'm working on as well to come out sometime probably late 2021. You know, an EP of just stuff that I've been working on myself. Some of the stuff I didn't put, it was going to be on Monstar, but we decided to just hold on to it because Monstar had a very curated sound with those 10 tracks. But it's also some more unplugged stuff, which is kind of cool because it's something I wanted to get back to as well, like just some more acoustic vibes where, you know, stripped down vocals, guitar, sax, horns, and we were doing some visuals for that as well. So yeah, man, just having fun with it, you know, just kind of following your heart with the music. And for me, that's kind of really where I'm at right now. Whatever speaks to me is kind of where I'm letting my, you know, spirit guide me basically, and the music that's filling my cup and speaks to my soul, that's where it's kind of all coming from. And you know, I feel it's a blessed time right now, as messed up as COVID is and everything. The silver lining is I feel like it's stripped away a lot of the distractions that we normally have, running around, you know, doing a million different things. We still have to do all that back end stuff as independent artists, but the flip side is with everything shut down, it's like, you know, it gives us some more time in the lab to just be there writing, creating, you know, building and strategically thinking of the next steps, and just plotting with the team, with the crew, and making those visions to a reality and come to life. So I would say to any, you know, creatives kind of on their grind, to just stay true to yourself, because I feel like there's so much pressure now to like follow a trend or follow this, or your sound should be this, or you know, fit in a box of this. It's like, nah, because honestly, like, if there's one thing I learned, it's like, be yourself, because at the end of the day, all those things come and go. You know, music that, you know, people may feel like they're pressured into making because it is what it is right now. A lot of those tunes, you go back 5-10 years from now, ain't no one bopping those tunes, because they're not it's not timeless music, because a lot of it didn't come from a genuine place, or it just wasn't what you were feeling, or you felt like you were forced to do it. So for me, that's kind of like, just what you feel to do it, and forget what anyone says. Like, at the end of the day, you gotta wake up and look at yourself in the mirror, not no one else. So like, do what's true to you and what makes you happy. Life is short, man. You know, like this year we've lost so many people. It's like, live in the moment, like, what makes you happy, for real. Like, you know, be good to yourself, be good to others, and just, you know, do you, for real.
100%. Well, Ice the One, thank you for shedding a lot of good knowledge and a lot of experience from, you know, your music and from everything else too. And until next time as well.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. You already know.
Sure. Until next time, peace.